Good morning once again, my dear students. Now we are in third course, Digital Conferencing in Email Etiquettes. I have uploaded two videos, and I hope you have learned a lot from two videos. So let's start with the third module, that is how to use a software called as a Grammarly and why grammar is important. So in this slide, I'm going to tell you why grammar is important and how you can improve your grammar. And then in next video, I will be explaining you all how to use a software called as a Grammarly to improve our grammar. Okay. So let's start with our today's topic. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this is all about grammar I'm going to cover here. So let's understand why grammar is important. So importance of good writing in the workplace. So of course, if you have the good writing skills, you will be always appreciated. Okay. So when a worker writes well, she or he demonstrates courtesy, attention to detail, and intelligence. Okay. In addition, employees who have good written communication skills benefit their company by ensuring quality communications with clients, prospects, and other outside interests. Okay, so if you have good communication skill, verbally or written, as well as written, so written also important. So even if you don't have good communication skill orally, you should have good communication skill in written. Okay, so that will be a more beneficial for the company. And of course, if you don't have, not to worry about that. We have different softwares for the same. Okay, so making a good first impression. When an email, letter, text message, or social media post is well written, well organized, and grammatically correct, the reader will form a good opinion of the writer. On the other hand, misspellings, poorly organized thoughts, and grammatical errors make the writer appear unintelligent and unprofessional. Okay, so let's understand the next topic, the next concept. Good business writing demonstrates that the writer value the reader's time. Okay, so you have to write your thoughts in such a way that it will be easily understood by the reader. Okay, so that we are not wasting time of reader. Okay, so when a writer is able to organize his thoughts and concerns and present them in a way that is easily read and understood, the reader's benefit. Okay. On the other hand, poor writing forces the reader to spend time and energy trying to understand what is being communicated. In many cases, the reader may have to ask the writer clarify questions. Okay, so sometimes the reader may ask you again question, and that will be the again waste of time. So writing clearly shows that the writer respects the reader's time and doesn't want to waste it. So let's understand the importance of clear communication. So good business decisions depend on clear communication. Workers will have far better relationships with the people outside the company when their communications are easy to comprehend. Coordinating meetings, setting goals, and negotiating agreements becomes far more straightforward when both parties are able to write clearly. So, ways to improve business writing. So, even if you are not good in writing, there are different ways to improve your writing skills. Okay, so you have to take some efforts and then you will be in master in that. So, a very first point is take extra time. In many cases, a person can improve their writing by taking extra time to compose messages and then to proofread them. Okay, so first you have to write it and then take some time to reread it and then read it. Make sure they are error free. There is no grammatical mistakes in your draft. Workers should not treat business communication as course to be completed as quickly as possible. Okay? So don't wind up your content, don't wind up your data or draft. Take some time for the same. But as project in their own right. When possible, it's advisable to write important letters and emails at least a few hours before. They are to be sent out to allow the writer to take a break from the piece and then review it with fresh eyes. So before you send any email, before you send any important letter, you have to write it before 2 hours before. Okay? Then you read it, check there are no errors, proofread it from someone else. Okay? And you can take a break. Also you do some other task and again go through it. Then your content will be, your draft will be perfect. Use a grammar checker. Word processing software usually includes a grammar checker, but there are standalone programs that can often provide more robust proofreading and feedback for even greater clarity. Okay, so as you all know, when you open a Word, okay, Microsoft Word, so even if you're you must have observed that if you there is some grammatical mistake, if there is some mistake, then it will show in red line, green line, yes or no. So there are some few softwares which help us to remove the errors. Okay. Ask for feedback. Always you can ask your friend to you can take the input from your friend. After writing a particularly important letter or email, it might be a good idea for an employee to ask his manager or a colleague to look over the piece and give feedback. So you can ask if it is so important, then you can ask your friend, you can ask your colleague, or you can ask your manager, okay, to look at this matter, okay, or draft, and if there are the errors, they will help to remove the errors. Get tutoring or take a class. There are many options for improving one's writing skills through educational programs. So nowadays there are so many programs, online programs you have. Always you can take the advantage of it if you want to improve. And no one in the world they don't want to improve. Everyone want to improve. Yes or no? Okay. So you can take some efforts. Community colleagues and adult education programs offer courses in business writing, and many of these courses can be taken online. So, as I said, you can go for any online courses to improve your writing skill. Now, the next I want to tell you all that is what is the purpose of grammar. Okay, also why grammar is so important. Grammar refers to the rules and regulations that govern spoken and written language. Grammar is the code that makes language work. It is through proper grammar that we are able to communicate in a clear manner that people can understand. Good grammar is the key to effective communication, whereas bad grammar leads to surprising mistakes. Its purpose is to build a bridge between what you mean and what the reader or listeners understand. So this is the purpose behind the grammar. Because of your grammar, your language is built or your language is based on your grammar, right? With clear, strong grammar skills, you can ensure people understand what you are trying to say or write even if English isn't your native language. Okay? So even if your English is not basic language or not the native language, if you have the good grammar skill, then of course you can easily read, write and communicate in English. If you were to say, let's eat grandma, okay? Everyone will understand that you are inviting your loved one for meal. If you were to write, let's eat grandma, the meaning becomes far more different. Yes or no? It will be more cryptic, right? So there is a difference between let's eat grandma and let's eat grandma, right? So let's eat comma grandma. So you are inviting grandma for a meal or dinner, and let's eat grandma. If there is no comma in between after it, then meaning is different, right? One simple grammar rule makes a huge difference in the meaning of sentence. So it will change your sentence completely. So what do you mean by good grammar? The ability to communicate clearly using written language. So because of good grammar, if you know grammar, then you can easily communicate in written language. If you have good grammar, you have the ability to communicate clearly with written language. You know how to use words and punctuation to get your meaning across in a way that most readers can understand. Second point, the ability to communicate clearly using spoken language. Not only does grammar play a role in written language, but it also plays a role in spoken language too. While grammar rules are less strict when speaking, grammatical errors in speech are still important. Right? So when you write any content, when you draft any data in English, there will be less errors. But when it comes to speech, when it comes to verbal communications, error will be more. Right? The ability to understand and apply the rules of grammar. Finally, having good grammar means having the ability to both understand and apply common rules and use of grammar. While rules are not always set in stone, the basic concepts are worth understanding and using those words properly in communication. Okay, so let's understand what are the different rules for the grammar. A very first point is proper use of commas. In written language, the comma is a small mark that has a big job. Comma is very small, yes or no? But which has a very big job. It is easy to both over and underuse the commas. So say here, so I have the first sentence without comma. So here what they are saying, we are going to learn to cut and paste keys. And second, we are going to learn to cut and paste kids. Okay, so they are involving kids and explaining kids how to cut and paste any paper. Okay, so I hope this comma matters and comma is very important. Okay, a second is subject verb agreement. So subject and verbs in sentence must agree in a number. If you have a plural subject, you need a plural verb and vice versa. Sometimes this gets tricky in sentences where the subject doesn't come right before the verb, so it's something to watch for. Third point is pronoun agreement. So in the sentence, John went to the store because he was out of milk. So here, he is the pronoun replacing the incident John. So John went to the store because he is nothing but John. Okay, so this is very important. So if you say Sarah and Anna went to the store because she was out of milk, so here there is different, the meaning is different, the sentence is incorrect because it is unclear who is she, yes or no. Sarah and Anna, okay, they both went to the store because she was out of milk. Now who is she? Yes or no? So this is not clear. Who is she? So this sentences is incorrect. One of the most common pronoun errors involves the pronoun there. In the sentence, each girl took their bag and went to the car. Okay, the pronoun is again incorrect. Even though there is more than one girl, both each and girl is singular. So we can read this. Each girl took her bag. Okay, so this is the way how we can write. The last one is homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same but are spelled differently and have different meanings. So take the example affect, effect. Okay, so somewhere pronunciation is different but meaning is different, spelling is different. Okay, complement, complement, right? There, there, they are. So these are the different examples where pronouns is same but meaning is different, spelling is different. Okay, SCAT sit, SIT sit, right? So learn the appropriate use of these words. So you have to take some efforts and you have to understand where to use those words. Okay. So now this is something important. How can I check my grammar? Whether whatever grammar I have done or I have written, whether it's a correct or not. So for that, we have some tools, online tools. In this online era, we have online tools. So let's understand what are those tools. No one is going to have perfect grammar all of the time. It's not a big deal if you make a single mistake in most cases. Okay, so even if there is a single mistake, don't worry because no one is perfect in this world, right? But we have to take some efforts to become a perfect, right? There are simply too many rules to follow, and it's relatively easy to fix issues in most work. That said, if it's important, like a job cover letter, consider a grammar checking load before pressing send or clicking publish. So before you press a send button, we have some tools, online tools, AI tools. So you can take the advantage of those tools. So first we have Grammarly. So Grammarly is a free online grammar checking program you can use to check anything you are typing. Okay, so whatever you are typing, you can check the grammar of that particular sentence. Simply upload your content into the browser and it will check your grammar and help with proofreading. Grammarly offers a more in-depth paid option if you want even more grammar checking or not English native speaker. You can also switch between American English and British English. So Grammarly we have free version also, and if you want some better features, you can go for the paid option also. Okay. So Pro Writing Aid is another tool to consider. It checks grammar as well as style to help improve your writing. So it will help to avoid overusing certain words or phrases within the English language. Both of these tools can also help with spelling mistakes. Okay, so what are the benefits of learning grammar? So in previous slide we have studied that. So what are the tools? Okay, so we have two tools, right? Grammarly and one is Pro Writing, right? So these are using these tools we can check, we can proofread our content. Okay, so what are the, let's understand what are the benefits of learning grammar. So exactly what are the benefits? Good grammar can help you become a stronger communicator. Okay, get your basic grammar skills right and you won't have to worry about your message being perceived badly for the wrong reasons. You can become a trusted professional and someone people consider as a well educated. If you have good communication skill, my dear students, you will be considered as well educated. You will be appreciated. So this is the right time where you can put efforts to improve your communication skill, to improve your written skill. So here's is a takeaway. Understanding the basic improves your communication skill that can translate into more clients, jobs, readers, and even money. So on the other hand, if you have bad grammar, if you are not good in grammar, it's kind of like a bad breath. Okay. So thank you very much. This is all about the why grammar is important. Okay. So my dear students, I have prepared one more video. You can go through that. How to use the version Grammarly. How to use the software called as the Grammarly. Okay. And how we can proofread it, how we can remove the errors, or how that Grammarly help us to improve our written communication. Okay. So thank you very much.